Hey guys, welcome back to the Launch Your Real Life podcast, where we help young Christians like you become independent from family, financially speaking, out on your own, out into the real world, so that you can actually live out your purpose and have an impact on the world around you. And honestly, control your finances instead of being controlled by them. So, I kind of gave an overview of what you want to look for in a budget when you're trying to find a budgeting system that works for you. Um, and this week, I wanted to go in more detail about the budgeting system that I use. Now, this isn't something that I created. I was taught this by another financial coach, actually, and when I implemented it, it changed my finances, and I was already a financially minded guy, and it really changed the way we do things, and I think set us up for um, just the success we've had the last couple of years. The method it was when I learned it was called the plan ahead method, and Kelsa Dickey is the financial coach who came up with this, and she's rebranding it right now to a system called SpendFirst, which is cool, and you'll hopefully see why both those names are applicable. Um, but I wanted to just kind of give it a high level overview and um, and give some resources that I've come up with based on this to hopefully help you come up with the budget that works for you. Because that's the biggest thing. If this doesn't work for you, it doesn't work. But I hope you'll give it a shot. Now, when we talk about a normal budget, most of the time when people talk about budgets, they're talking about a monthly budget. And if you look up the templates, if you look up apps, they're all geared around a monthly budget, which is fine. However, for a lot of us, it's not actually reflective of how our money comes in and out of our lives. So, for instance, um, you may have a monthly budget that of $5,000, for instance, but that doesn't mean on day one of the month you can spend $4,999, right? Because most of us aren't paid once a month. Some of us are, but most of us are paid biweekly or bi-monthly, and um, and some of us have multiple paychecks, from a spouse or multiple jobs, and so we have to actually take that into account if we want to really see our money for how it truly is, right? So I want to acknowledge that mindset shift of like per month and go to more like a paycheck based cycle. So that's just a little background context before we go into the meat of this system. I want you to have that in the back of your mind, and we'll come back to it. So I want to outline three different types of expenses that we have, and I'm not talking about categories like groceries or entertainment or things like that, um, but I'm talking about three different types of expenses when it comes to um, the timing of them. So, type one is your fixed expenses. Now, this is the easiest to explain. This is what most people think of when they think of their bills or their expenses, right? This is, your rent, your electricity bill, your phone bill, your Netflix subscription. It comes out monthly, and it's usually for at least roughly the same amount of money, and it's on the same day every month. So it's very predictable, right? So if you do a little bit of research, if you don't know right now, I hope you'll do the research and find out like, okay, this expense happens on this day. It comes out of my account on this day, right? So those are the expenses you can look at and say, on the 15th of the month, my Netflix subscription comes out. And on the 20th of the month, that's when my car insurance payment happens, right? So that's type one, your fixed expenses. The next type is what I call fixed flexible expenses. So think of these as the things that you know are going to happen every month, but not necessarily what day or what amount. So, groceries, great example, because you might say, okay, I'm going to spend $300 on groceries this month, but you don't go on the 10th to Walmart and buy $300 worth of groceries, right? It's like you go to the store for a run and you spend $100, and then you have to run back for something, you spend $50. Uh, and it's just kind of as you need it throughout the month, right? So, um, so you got to go through all the potential expenses that would fall into this category. So that'd be groceries, that would be eating out, entertainment, um, you know, haircuts, unless you have like a set standing appointment monthly or whatever. Um, it's the things that you just need and you get them as needed right throughout the month. So that's type 2, fixed flexible expenses. Now, the type 3 um, is going to be all of your future expenses. So under this category are a couple of things. So things that you know are going to happen, but only happen once or twice a year. So maybe tuition if you're a student, um, maybe books. If you pay your insurance, your car insurance, twice a year instead of monthly. Some people do that. And this also includes things that you know are probably going to happen through the course of the year, but you don't know when. So think about your tire replacements, your car repairs, your house repairs. Um, Chances are your oil changes. Chances are you're going to have these things come up throughout the year, and um, this is sadly the category that we focus on the least, um, and that is where it's a real shame, because I feel like that is a sticking point for a lot of people being able to stick to their budget, because they try, but they're planning around the perfect or normal month. But if you've ever tried to do this before, you know that there is no such thing as a normal month, right? So there's always something coming up. For us, it's always, something. There's a baby shower that we have to get a gift for, or um, a special offering at church, or um, just house, plumbing issues, all these kind of things that come up. And so we want to actually work that in, make it a routine, uh, planned for as much as we possibly can. And that includes also future things that are going to be in the future, in the near future. Maybe a new car, maybe a wedding that you need to be saving for, family vacation, right? So all those things kind of fall under this type 3 of future expenses. And so um, to help you gather this information, I've actually created a new tool. It's outline.newstoryfinancial.com. The link will be in the description. And what this is it's going to take you to a page, and it's going to have the 3 types that we just talked about. And if you need inspiration, you need ideas, you can click the suggestions button, and it'll bring up some ideas for you. I encourage you to maybe go on your bank app and pull up a statement to see what you are spending as terms of your fixed expenses, your fixed flexible expenses. And you can even download an app like Rocket Money, and for free you can connect your bank accounts, and it will auto categorize some of those things that you can, it'll detect the recurring. I'd still go back through and manually check it as well. But Rocket Money is a great budgeting app, but it doesn't play well with the implementation of this, in my experience. That's why I've created another tool, but we'll get to that in a second. So go to outline.newstoryfinancial.com, and you can just plug in all your income and your expenses, and then you can hit generate report, and then it'll all be listed out there for you for the next phase of what we're going to talk about, or just for your knowledge, just to play around with it and see. So I ask you, which of these is the easiest type? which is the easiest type, the simplest to understand, the simplest to identify, right? The answer is, for most of us, the fixed expenses, right? Because you can just go through and you can look and you can see on the 15th I spent $30 and went to this subscription or whatever. $90 went to my electric bill. And so it's very that what we want to do is we want to actually take all of these categories, all of these types, and make them as close to type 1 as we can. So how do we do that? Well, first, you're going to need you're going to need to get your bank account straight, right? So you're going to have one account that is your main account. That's the account where your money's coming in, that your income is coming into. And also through that main account, your fixed expenses are coming out of that, right? So your bills, your subscriptions, everything that is set and planned is going to come out of that main account, right? And then for type 2, what we're actually going to do is we're going to set up a second checking account that is just for this money. I call it a spending account. And so what you're going to do is you have the separate checking account. Nothing comes out of it automatically. No subscriptions, nothing's charged to that account except for you use that debit card. And that is where every time you get paid, set it up where an automatic transfer of however much you've determined is your monthly need for your type 2 expenses, right? So your groceries, you're eating out, whatever that amount is for the month, divide it by the number of your paychecks for the month, and then make an automatic transfer of that amount to the spending account. So if you determine that the amount you need for type 2 is $500 for the month, you're paid bi-weekly. Roughly, that's usually two paychecks per month. My goodness. So you take that 500, you divide it by 2, it's 250, and every time you get paid, automatic transfer from your main account to your spending account of $250. And then that is the debit card you use as you go to the grocery store, as you go out to eat. And the cool thing about that is you only have to keep track of that number, right? You don't have to worry about your main account because it's on autopilot. So if you're somebody who flies by the seat of your pants and you just like to see, like, you have that, is there still money in the account mentality, you can actually still have that mentality because everything's taken care of on the back end and you can ride it out. And if you get to the end of that pay period and you want to spend $20 at Chipotle and you have $25 in the account, you know you can swipe that card and be good until you get that refill the next pay period. So that's how I handle type 2 expenses, and that makes it predictable, same day, regular, like a regular fixed expense, right? So how do we do that with the future expenses? Well, we're gonna do a similar thing. So we're gonna estimate what we think we will need throughout the year. Say you think you'll spend $400 on tires. You take that $400, and divide it by 12 to get how much you need monthly to be able to cover that. And once you go through all of the things that you've thought of for future expenses and loosely have them divided into needs and wants, and your non-negotiables, the things that if you're going to go on that family vacation, no matter what, come hell or high water, even if you have to go into debt for it, then make a sinking fund for that trip. Right. And if you take all that amount and divide it by 12, that is how much you need to be transferring, set up an automatic transfer again to a third type of account, which I recommend getting a high yield savings account, something like Ally. Ally's great. It's what I use. You can have one singular account that you can divide into multiple buckets. So you can actually divide the money up by purpose, however detailed or broad you want to be with that. you can set that up under one account, and each month have a transfer go into that, divide it up into the buckets. And then as those things come up, you can actually just transfer money back from that sinking fund back to your main account. So again, we're taking the roller coaster of our financial life and we're trying to smooth it out, right? So now that you've got your accounts, you've got these different types of expenses. When you get that picture, that's where you can start making cuts. But before that, you need a tool to let you see this, and not only see the next month or to the next pay period, but you need to see several pay periods out. So I used to do this with a spreadsheet, and I decided to make something a little bit easier, a little bit more user friendly, so that you guys can use it as well. And again, this link will be down in the description. Finstory, FINSTORY.app. It's going to take you to a page, and if you've gone through the other tool and got your generated PDF of your expenses that you've come up with, you can just look at that and directly input them. This doesn't directly connect to your bank account, and I'm not going to go too into detail, but you will need to manually input the input, and it actually will give you a cash flow forecast up to 2 years into the future of all of your money coming in and your money going out based on the numbers you feed it. So you'll be able to tell really quick if your numbers are realistic, if your account is going to keep growing, right? Or if you are going to go negative anytime soon. Because maybe you think the system works, but actually your balance is going down, 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 and in 6 months you'll be in the red. And so you'd know at that point you need to adjust things, and you could easily adjust the numbers to see how that impacts things. And I'm going to go in a much deeper dive on this in the near future. I'm going to do a live call where I'm going to break this down and show the app and everything, but feel free to check it out now, finstory.app. But it's cool. And they do have places. There is a place in there for you to keep track of your everyday expense with the spending account. And you can either keep track of that or not. If it helps you to see and identify what you're spending money on, I recommend that, honestly, for the first little bit. But once you've dialed in and you know that, hey, this amount of money per paycheck will allow me to do what I need to do, then you don't have to worry about like categorizing super, minutely. So yeah, I know that was real quick. I know that was high level. Just know that if you want help navigating this for yourself, check out my school page down. I'm really going to start investing in that here in the next couple of weeks. And I would love for you to join for free and reach out to me. And I am going to start having a paid side of that where I'm going to be doing monthly calls, where it's going to start off with me describing and going through in detail the app and the budgeting system. And then after that, it's going to be calls where we do teaching, but it's also ongoing accountability for your budget and for the goals that you have. So if that's something you're interested in, I would love to hear about it. I would love to hear that you're interested in that so I can know that it's something that people want. That is my intention here in a couple of weeks. So I hope that you guys will check out these tools. Let me know what you think about them, because they are still works in progress for sure. And yeah, thank you for joining me. You have a good one.